The humorous part is I am not really tech savvy. And so I've got to buddy up to this stuff and figure out how to find a human being through one of these systems. So bear with me. The book is there. It's just not my picture, and obviously it's not me. So you can go Google it. You can also order it right on my website, which is probably safer and more happy. So there we go. Another point to report here. I've been working with a lovely client in another state, and last year she began to tiptoe into some energies that weren't exactly kosher. And I began to hold her hand and remind her that, this is going to not come out well. And why would I know that? I've probably either walked the walk, number one, or done so much research on it that you can't miss it. You finally do get to the point where you can see very clearly 2 + 2 = 4, and there's no way around it. Many of us, until we get that clarity in life, we're going to insist on, I don't know. If I come at it from quantum physics, maybe 2 + 4 is 116 squared. I mean, we'll come up with some nonsensical formula. So she tiptoed through the year and indeed fell into some deep, deep mud puddles and minefields and every other thing. Well, she did have the grace to tell me just last evening, I hated what you told me. It made me feel really bad, and I didn't want to believe it. And thank you. So you have to, when you step out and open your heart and open your consciousness to other beings, you will be the subject of hatred, ridicule, dislike, until some which way it's proven that, 2 and 2 = 4. And so it's very interesting. I so get it when you don't like what I'm talking about and you don't like what I've just told you. For my part, thankfully, I am just coming along so nicely in my own, what do I call it? Because it's not even lessons anymore. In my own way of life, of dropping all conflict and dropping a sense of creating trouble and dropping the fight. So it's really interesting as you drop it and stand aside. So what I could drop was I could sense she didn't like me. As a matter of fact, I could feel her hatred and I could feel her resistance. And all I had to do was drop it. I didn't have to counter it. And really, I actually didn't counter it. I simply allowed it. And I allowed it because I understand existence is living me. I'm not doing it. And man, when we get real clear on that, that's another real big, that's not even 2 + 2. That's a 1 + 1. And you stand in the oneness. And you simply drop any sense of being result-oriented. Because trust me, over the year, there were little times where I would tiptoe away from the conversation and think, oh man, I don't know that she's getting it. And what if she's not getting it? And she couldn't hear me. And if I had put it this way and that way, maybe she could have heard me. And no, all I had to do was drop my sense of needing a result. It's so freeing. There we go with freedom, the beginning oracle of today. All of this is about freedom. You drop the sense that you are the doer. Now, yes, I'm showing up on this radio station. I'm here. I'm speaking. But actually, it's the great existence that's doing it. And I've even had to learn that with this radio station, because sometimes I would come away thinking, ay, why was it said that way? And perhaps it should have been done differently. No, drop it. Be done with it. Let that past go. because existence did it. So extreme freedom, extreme freedom. And for those of you who are wondering, what the heck am I talking about? How did I get here? You now need to be emailing me at purpleportal777@gmail.com, and I will tell you, because this will only resonate with a certain few of you. Some of you have nodded off. You actually can't hear it because it's not a frequency match for you at this time. And that is so helpful. It doesn't mean anything other than, I'm talking about chocolate ice cream, and you really, really don't care for chocolate ice cream. Matter of fact, you might not like ice cream at all. And it's all okay. Everybody good out there? I hope so. I think I'm going to take a sip of water and change my own frequency, because that's a lot of 2 + 2 and 1 + 1 to be socking to you. I would like to tell you about my dentist experience last week, because this will give some of you encouragement and inspiration. So since I left New Jersey, that would be 2010. No, probably before that. Somewhere around 2010. The last time I went to the dentist was probably 2008 or 9. And at that time, I knew that the dentist was not telling me the truth. I could feel it. I couldn't wait to get out of there. He didn't even know what to charge me because I did not want to go with the procedure that he was suggesting. Now, trust me, I am not belligerent in these people's offices. I am anything but. I am humble. I am meek. I am reticent. I am apologetic because I'm not a dentist. I didn't want to be a dentist. That's really not for me. So you could imagine the posture of this kind of bowing and scraping woman who's saying, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to go through with that. Could you just alter it and do a little bit of that? The man was so unhappy with me, I couldn't wait to get out of there fast enough. And then I spent the next many years counseling people on the right days to go to the dentist. That is something in feng shui that's important to me. I want to know the right day to go to the dentist, the doctor, the Indian chief, whomever you got to go to. I want to know the right time. So I would often be counseling things like I would for this month for women. It is, well, obviously it would be for women. You do not go for your gynecological examination this month of May. Not safe. They'll find something. Don't do it. Wait until next month. The water level is different. So I would often teach in these classes, this is not the month for a tooth issue. And so be careful and wait till next month and then you can go to the dentist. I'm not one to say don't ever, ever go. It's kind of like, vaccinations. Get what you need. Do it carefully and monitored and with full consciousness. So it's that kind of thing. So I'd be telling people don't go to the dentist. And then my window would close and I would do a whole lot of sacred geometry on my mouth and teeth, and something would kind of slide back in and I'd forget it until the next opportune time when I'd be saying again, not the month to go to the dentist. And of course, my own tooth would be hurting. Well, this went on from 2010 until, this year. And when I took my tumble in November and actually injured my face, it seemed to be the trigger for a lot of discomfort with a certain tooth. So first of all, I got to figure out what tooth is it, what meridian is it on, what organ do I need to contact and soothe and bring back to life, and how can I fix this? And quite frankly, I was hesitant to go to the dentist because I knew the nerve in the face had been damaged. So I thought, let the nerve heal. It was very logical in my mind. It was quite well thought out. But in December, there was a dreadful abscess, and it hurt like the dickens. And that week between Christmas and New Year's, the most peculiar thing, there was absolutely no dentist in captivity for me. It was humorous. So I thought, okay, that's a big no from the universe. So I didn't do a dang thing. I just sat it out. Well, all right, I'm no dummy. I'm thinking, geez, this has to be looked at. So now I find some kinesiologist who refers me to a proper, loving female dentist. I'm happy with that whole thing. And she was very sincere and very genuine. And she took the x-ray and yep, there's only really, we can save that tooth. At all costs, save the tooth. Now, I could actually hear my own mother in life saying, oh, protect your teeth, save your teeth. They're very important. So I got the memo, and she really reiterated it. And so she was going to put a crown on it, and there we have it. And I came out, and I thought, there's something wrong. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I wasn't feeling it, except my tooth was hurting. Couple more months go by, and I find, okay, the next very well thought out suggestion by a well-meaning person, okay, go to this one's now a guy, very sincere, very good bedside manner, all the right things. And he's like, the first dentist incidentally said it was cracked. He goes, no, it's not cracked, but it is decayed, so we'll do a root canal. Now, I'm not a dentist, but I have done a whole lot of research on root canal. Actually, dentists should contact me for the information I have amassed on the dangers of a root canal. Well, he was so obliging and so sincere that I left that office with an appointment in 3 weeks or so for the root canal. As the days went by, I was out of my tree with rereading all of the knowledge base on why I don't want a root canal. And I called their office and said, I have to tell you, in his office when he said that, I again humbly apologized, feeling like lower than a worm. I'm so sorry. I have a great reluctance about root canal. I've probably read enough to be dangerous. Again, there's nothing haughty. There's nothing conflicted here. I'm trying to be authentic and put my concerns on the table. The concerns were immediately brushed away, discarded, and I could feel the disdain and that I should really pay attention to what I'm doing because I'm not a dentist. And I don't know whether it was that sensation, something didn't feel right. So finally, as the day approaches, I give them plenty of notice. I canceled the root canal. By this time, I had spoken with, he's very behind the scenes. You'll never find him, so don't ask me his name. It is one who actually hides in the shadows for fear of his life. And he full on said, no root canal, absolutely not. It will come back to bite you. Now, he had tapped into my energy specifically. So those of you who have had a root canal, don't get all twisted. This was for me. So then I understood, no. Well, then I looked up to try to find, is there a holistic person somewhere in captivity that could treat the whole body? And I did find one, and the person had a 3-month waiting program. So my appointment basically is June something. Well, the other day I received the phone call with, we've got a cancellation. And I must have startled the gal that called in because I said, I've been waiting for you to call because I actually had been. In 3 months' time, it doesn't take a brain surgeon. Of course there has to be a cancellation. So I just kind of fed that energy. Of course there's a cancellation. I was in there that afternoon, and he examined the tooth very carefully. And here's what I said to him without mentioning any names. First dentist told me I should have it crowned. His eyes flew open. Oh, my gosh. I would have run. And I looked at him with a big smile and said, I did. I said, and the second one wanted to do a root canal. And then he very calmly said nothing against his colleague, because he didn't even know who it was.